The water in your bathtub has been sitting there for 3 days. It's got that film on top that moves when you blow on it, like the skin on expired milk. The city water stopped running 36 hours ago. The bottles from the garage are gone because your teenager thought emergency supply meant dad's being dramatic again. Now you're staring at this bathtub like it's going to tell you whether drinking it will kill you faster than dehydration will. Your neighbors are already sick from drinking straight rainwater. The guy across the street is filtering pond water through his sock and calling it purified. Meanwhile, you're about to learn why your ancestors survived millions of years without water testing strips, and why that clear mountain spring is basically nature's version of Russian roulette with better scenery. Here's the truth that'll ruin your camping trips forever. Every water source after collapse is contaminated. That pristine mountain spring, a deer took a massive dump in it this morning. The rain you collected, it's seasoned with whatever's burning in the atmosphere. Cars, buildings, probably some bodies. Your well water is having unprotected sex with every septic system in a 5-mile radius. Even your stored water is hosting a bacterial house party because of that hairline crack you never noticed. Water doesn't stay pure. He gets lonely and invites friends. But humans drank questionable water for 299,900 of our 300,000-year history. We didn't have testing strips that turn pretty colors. We had eyes, noses, and the understanding that dying of thirst takes 3 days, while dying from bad water takes a week. That's 4 extra days to find better water or blame someone else for your choices. Clear water is the biggest liar in nature. It looks pristine while hosting cholera, giardia, and cryptosporidium, the 3 horsemen of intestinal apocalypse. But cloudy water, that's honest. It's telling you up front, I'm full of shit, probably literally. When you hold water up to light, any color is a message. Brown means organic matter. Could be harmless tannins, could be decomposed raccoon. Green means algae, which is fine unless it's blue-green algae that produces toxins that'll make your liver fall for divorce. Pink water means you've got Sriracha marcescens, bacteria that causes UTIs so bad you'll nostalgically remember kidney stones. Your nose evolved specifically to keep you from poisoning yourself, and then you stopped trusting it because someone invented expiration dates. Smell your water 3 times. Cold first, that's the immediate threat assessment. After swirling, that releases the volatile compounds, the things trying to hide. After 30 minutes, that's when the bacteria clock in for their shift. Chlorine smell means someone treated it, though chlorine disappears faster than your neighbors when you ask for help. Rotten eggs, that's hydrogen sulfide from sulfur bacteria. Won't kill you, but makes death seem reasonable. Sweet smell when water shouldn't be sweet, that's antifreeze, pesticides, or other chemicals that'll shut down your organs in order of importance. Movement tells you everything. Living water moves. Dead water sits there contemplating its choices. But here's what the survival books written by people with running taps don't mention. That babbling brook is also babbling over the decomposing deer 30 yards upstream, the one that's been marinating for 2 weeks. Moving water is generally safer than still water. But generally safer is like being mostly pregnant or slightly dead. Here's where you realize your survival knowledge is adorable. Animals drinking from water doesn't mean it's safe. It means it won't kill you immediately. There's a difference. Birds can drink water that would turn your intestines into a water park for parasites. Mammals are better indicators. But watching a dog drink from a puddle isn't exactly peer-reviewed research. Dead animals near water? That's nature's Yelp review. 0 stars. Would not drink again. Insects are water sommeliers. Mosquito larvae mean standing water, but not necessarily toxic water. Mayflies and stoneflies are the trust fund babies of insects. They only live in premium, clean water. No insects at all? That water's so toxic even bugs that eat garbage said hard pass. Let water sit for 24 hours in a clear container. This isn't purification, it's revelation. You'll see layers form, like a disappointing parfait. Scum on top? That's biological activity punching its time card. Bubbles forming? Either dissolved gases or decomposition. Flip a coin. Color changing? Chemical reactions are happening and you're not qualified to be the test tube. Boiling is everyone's security blanket, but it only kills biological threats. Chemicals and heavy metals laugh at your little campfire. Boiling contaminated water just gives you hot contaminated water, like serving poison at the correct temperature. Meanwhile, nobody talks about the sun method. Clear bottles in direct sunlight for 6 to 8 hours. UV kills many pathogens. Not all. but many. It's free, requires no fuel, and turns your definitely deadly water into probably deadly water. That's progress. The real survival strategy isn't finding clean water. It's ranking your terrible options. Running beats standing. Clear beats cloudy. Cold beats warm. No smell beats any smell. You're not looking for perfect, you're looking for least likely to kill you this week. It's like dating apps, but with higher stakes. Never drink from the same source consecutively. Rotate your poisonings. This prevents buildup of any single toxin and gives your body time to process different varieties of doom. It's diversifying your contamination portfolio. Your liver can handle a little of everything better than a lot of something. Track your body's response obsessively. Nausea after the Eastern Pond? Critical intelligence. Diarrhea from the well? That's data worth more than gold. Your body is running experiments you can't afford to repeat. That knowledge becomes your water map, where the slightly bad water lives versus the extremely bad water. If you're in a group, here's the protocol nobody wants to hear. One person tests new sources. Not your strongest, you need them functional. Not the weakest, they'll die from anything. Someone middle tier, expendable but sturdy. Yes, we're talking about Steve from accounting. Steve tests the water. Steve's sacrifice will be remembered until you find good water and forget Steve existed. Eventually, you'll drink water you know is contaminated. Because the math is simple. Certain death in 3 days from dehydration, or possible death in a week from waterborne illness. 4 extra days to find better water, find medicine, or at least write a will blaming Steve for choosing that source. Your great-grandparents survived without water tests through observation, patience, and accepting that perfect is the enemy of good enough. They knew dying of thirst is guaranteed, while dying of disease is negotiable. But they also lost half their children to preventable diseases, so maybe their methods need adjustment. The darkest truth about water and collapse? You can do everything right. Boil it, filter it, settle it, pray over it, and still end up with that cut on your hand turning red, streaking up your arm, bringing fever and chills. That small infection from purifying water, the one that would be nothing with antibiotics, is now racing through your blood while you're still congratulating yourself on finding a clean source. Because here's what nobody tells you. It's not the bad water that kills most people. It's the infection from the cut you got gathering it, the wound from the broken bottle you used to store it, the scratch that seemed like nothing until it became everything. When that red line starts crawling up your arm toward your heart, when the fever spikes and there's no emergency room, no antibiotics, just you and whatever is in your medicine cabinet from 2019, that's when you realize water safety was just the opening act. Want to know what actually works when your blood's turning into bacterial soup and the nearest hospital is now a skeleton storage facility? When that infection's spreading faster than your ex's gossip and you're deciding between amputation with a kitchen knife or seeing how this plays out? Next up is how to treat an infection when the grid falls, where you'll learn why honey isn't just for tea, why maggots might become your best friends, and how to tell the difference between probably gonna lose the limb and definitely gonna lose your life. Because in the end, everyone's worried about finding water, but nobody's planning for what happens when that water finds its way into your bloodstream through a cut you got trying to purify it.